DC here. Hi, guys. Well, it's Good Friday, and over here in Switzerland, Good Friday is an official day off, which is kind of nice because we have Good Friday and Easter Monday, which makes a long weekend, a 4-day weekend. And for many of us, it's one of the longest weekends, or I would say free periods outside of the actual vacation period. So nice, enjoying it. Good Friday. Brings back a lot of memories, actually, because being a young boy, and when I was a young boy in Quebec, Good Friday was, as to be expected, a big thing, but also Quebec being a Catholic, or at least at the time, it was a Catholic part of the world. And people used to work, it was a working day, but around 3-ish. I don't know exactly how it worked. I'll have to ask my my parents about that because I'm forgetting the details. But there was a 3 o'clock mass, and the churches were full. I mean, for some of you might get a little bit confused here because I've gone through, I was going to say, a series of Christian transformations. Is that as a young boy I was with my parents within the Catholic Church, and as a young married adult, actually, we moved on to well, it was a Christian Brethren group at the time, and now we're more in a Reformed church. Yeah, I wasn't going to get into church stuff actually right now. I mean, that would be another discussion, but I've always tried as much as possible to keep out of the fray as much as possible on YouTube. Yeah, why am I chatting? Well, it was just thinking, it's the way time goes by. Probably in one of my nostalgic moods, I suppose, because it's one of the holidays. When you think about it, I mean, we never live in time, do we? Or we always live in time present. I was thinking about that because finally, I mean, when we've got what we could almost call time pass, which is basically our memories, what we've gone through. We can live time pass. Our time present is our actions, what we're doing right now. That is basically all the time present that we have. And the time future is what we anticipate, what could be coming up. But the only one that we actually have a little grasp on, is time present. And since that's a fleeting moment, finally we don't have grasp on anything, do we? Yeah. Deep. I don't know. It's one of those things, I guess, that when, like, as we say, when vacations come, and you start thinking about time pass. Yeah. Yesterday I had some time alone with one of my sons. He came over. And, yeah, he just came over to hang out. And that was nice. That was nice. I mean, I was alone with him. Mrs. DC was at work. And he had seen the latest Oz remake, or it's not a remake, but prequel, call it whatever you want. And I've got very mixed reviews of that. He didn't like it actually, but I certainly try and see it myself, though I do want to have my own opinion on it. But what we did is we pulled out The Wizard of Oz. I had it on Blu-ray. And so it was really good. Actually, it's the first time I'd seen it on the Blu-ray, and they reworked it, so it was pretty incredible, actually, the way it came out. But I liked it. I mean, it was bringing me back also again. I mean, like I say, in this nostalgia phase, I guess, is that when I was living in Canada, every year, basically, The Wizard of Oz would come at least once on television. So that was really part of the year rhythms, of the yearly rhythm. It was. I mean, there were certain movies like that you would see at least, well, I mean, usually it was once a year. Sound of Music, for example. Things like that. Yeah. It is funny because, how many minutes am I on here? Could I find that out? Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay. So I have to move on as fast as possible. I was just thinking though, when I was a child, living in in the eastern townships, and really, I mean, on the Vermont border. I was talking about that the other day with someone, and I was saying how much things have changed actually since 9/11 in many, many aspects. I mean, when I was a kid, Canada and the United States, at least if you lived on the border like we did, and the place where I was born, I mean, you could lift your eyes up and look and see into the States right off like that. And there was there was two countries and there wasn't. I mean, the States was our backyard. I mean, we would go there to have, we would go there for movies, we'd go there for dancing, we'd go there for picnicking. Vice versa as well. I mean, go there for shopping. And so many of my family members live in the States. I mean, there was no real border in that respect. People married on each side. And I guess that's probably one of the reasons it was just so easy. The borders, I mean, it was like if you've ever been in Europe, you just drove across. It was almost that easy. And now, if I go back, it's a full blast passport, not quite a search, but almost, so things have changed a lot. Yeah. Well, with Easter coming up, though, I do find that it's a time. I always go into, I guess, this mode of thought and reflection, Easter, Christmas, but particularly in Easter. Think about myself, about life, about the future of life. And like I say, I'm trying not to get too much into religion, but for me, of course, it is a very important aspect of my personality, of my life, and of my beliefs. So, of course, the Easter holiday is something where I do like to take time. The only difference I would say is that for many people that I have known, Easter can be almost a superstitious thing because you got to do your Easter duties, as people used to call it. And I live my Christianity every day of the year. So in that respect, I mean, Easter is a time of reflection and of thought, but is not particularly, I mean, a special time where it's like the only time of the year. So I guess you understand what I mean. Yeah, so kind of like low-key, we stayed up a little bit. Mrs. DC's actually still in bed. I'm taking a cup of, this is Irish breakfast tea, actually, this one. And just felt like chatting. A little bit slow. It's the beginning of a long weekend. Okay, so I hope you have a good Easter. And probably be back. DC signing off. Take care.